Loretta Jones, and I hope you enjoy this virtual tour at your own convenience of Battery Park and Battery Park City, New York. Welcome to Battery Park City. It's right along the entrance, if you will, of Manhattan. You can see a bit of the harbor right beyond the Staten Island Ferry. We have the east side in that direction, and the East River, and the Hudson to the right, and the west side, where we have Battery Park City. And you can see where all those trees are. That lines the beginning of Battery Park City, and if you see the stainless steel structure, or the aluminum structure behind, is the beginning of the carousel that's going to celebrate the history. From the shrine of Elizabeth Ann Seton to the brick, one of the first modern skyscrapers behind me, where I used to work when I was in high school, the brown brick building, to the high modern skyscrapers. Of the financial district. This is the backdrop to Battery Park City. So to the south we have Staten Island, all the way down, which is where the Staten Island Ferry goes to, of course. And it passes Governor's Island, which is right across the way. You can sort of see the treetops to it. Behind Governor's Island is Brooklyn. To the east of Manhattan is more of Brooklyn, and then comes Queens. And further out is Long Island and the beautiful shoreline. And to the other, also south, is the Statue of Liberty. You can't see that part from here. They're doing a lot of work down here, but you can see the residential buildings that are to the side of Battery Park City, and most of those were the original Battery Park City sort of settlement, residential area. And beyond, on the other side, in that direction to the west of Manhattan, is New Jersey. The very grand custom house that now houses the American Indian Museum, the National Museum of the American Indian. And it sits over a small market. The old Customs House overlooks the park, and of course the pathway up to Wall Street and the notorious books. At the entrance to the park. Here inside the park, there's the Battery Urban Farm, a plant your own vegetables initiative. And there are plenty of restaurants along the waterway. Great places to eat. And there's ticketing for the Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty ferries. You can get tickets to the ferry for the Statue of Liberty or Ellis Island. The Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. Washington has served many uses over the years. Over 3 million visitors pass through its walls annually. When the Dutch settled here in 1623, it was erected to house a first battery of cannons to defend New Amsterdam. It anticipated the War of 1812. 10 years later, it was renamed Castle Garden and became the city's transit hall. Then it was America's first receiving center, welcoming 8.5 million people before Ellis Island. For records, see castlegarden.org. When they wanted to get lighters to darken landscape, renovating this art interior, became New York Aquarium until 1891. What modes near demolished Castle in 1841, which resulted in a major reservation battle, true New York style. Original fort walls were declared national monuments by an act of Congress in 1936. The National Park Service restored Castle Clinton to its board appearance in 1975. The Battery Conservancy is committed to reversing years of neglect by redesigning and rebuilding the park's landscape and completing an innovative adaptive reuse of the castle. And the carousel that's being planned to honor the history of the aquarium that was here, which will be located right back that way. Will feature a sea glass fish with fiber optic and LED lights glowing from within, playing an audio of enchanting oceanic during the ride. Behind me you can see the carousel that's being built. And it's going to honor the New York Aquarium that used to be here, and it's actually going to have a ferry leaving, I guess, from down here that's going to shuttle people to the current aquarium at Coney Island. Hope that you can see the carousel. It's going to be great. They're working on it now. Behind me is the Holocaust Museum. Actually, it's a museum of Jewish American history, I believe. It's fairly new, and it's great. And across the street from it and up the block a little bit more is the Skyscraper Museum, which is also nice. One of my family's favorite restaurants. We only eat here like once a year or so, but it's great. Battery Park branch of the New York Public Library, art galleries, and a movie theater nearby. The Winter Garden Atrium here at World Financial Center holds many free-to-the public arts and events programs throughout the year. And as the sun sets, it becomes a bright light in the night skyline. This is the East Coast Memorial to honor almost 5,000 U.S. servicemen who died out at sea, on the Atlantic in World War II. The eagle statue is of clowns and it's on granite, and it was dedicated in 1963 by President John F. Kennedy. That survived the World Trade Center attacks on 9/11. It used to stand at the World Trade Center for world peace. You can actually see the World Trade Center site from here. You can see the Freedom Tower. A statue made of bronze on granite that's off its pedestal right now and is in storage close to the new carousel site right back that way. So maybe it'll have a new prominence by the new carousel. Riders of the riders of the future ferry, unless they go around the Long Island Sound and out past Connecticut that way, which I don't really know is possible, will presumably pass under the Verrazano Bridge on their way to the New York Aquarium, which the ferry will go to, which is out that way. You can see the top of the Verrazano right behind Governor's Island, but it doesn't connect Governor's Island, it connects Brooklyn and Staten Island. That's the direction of Coney Island. That's where the New York Aquarium is, and that's where the ferry will take them to, presumably, passing under the Verrazano Bridge, and out toward the Atlantic. Verrazano, the Italian explorer, was the first known European to enter New York Bay. He wrote about it, writings which later instructed explorer Henry Hudson. You can see that, well, not from here, but you'll see later, but right there is where the Hudson River comes down and meets the harbor here. Copies of that writing are at our Morgan Library on Madison Avenue in Midtown. Battery Park and Battery Park City are rich in monuments from the diverse walks of New York life. Personal note, I grew up right over there. See that high hill across the harbor? It's the highest land elevation above sea level along the eastern seaboard. That's Staten Island. On the left, across the Verrazano Bridge is Brooklyn, which is a little hidden behind Governor's Island here, which of course joins the city by Brooklyn Bridge. But right over this way. The East River comes down and empties into the harbor here. So if you think of Battery in terms of bringing things together, bringing together many components to keep their spirit of life alive, surviving and celebrating on, it's a great place to honor it.